Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome back to another episode of the All We Do Is Talk podcast. I am here with Moody and Isaiah. We're talking Week 12 football, boys. Week 12 football. How are we doing today?
And I'm still full off of an excellent Thanksgiving of food and busting the New York Giants ass for the umpteenth consecutive time in a row.
No,
Happy
it's
Friday.
the third time in a row. It's the third time in a row.
I only count the ones with Dak. I don't care about what y'all did to Andy Dalton and Kobe.
Yeah, I mean, 2 for 3 on my picks yesterday. I think we both went 2 for 3 yesterday, Moody, because we both picked the covers.
Yeah, we picked New England.
Yeah, the only game that
I got
1 for 3. 1 for 3. Because the Giants had the backdoor.
The Giants
cover.
backdoor covered. You're right. It's
yeah,
1
I
for
went
3.
I went 1 for 3, but I got the unders right. I went unders in all of them.
But yeah, it was a good day of Thanksgiving football. Hopefully the rest of this week. Luckily, NFL's finally got smart. They understand that they're not going to have bye weeks along with Thanksgiving games. Took them my whole life, but there they are. That's actually 2008. They added the third Thanksgiving game in 2008, so it took them about 12 years, a little over 12 years. Okay.
All right, let's get it started. Let's start with my game. Denver coming to town. Denver's favored by 1 point. Over under is 36, boys.
Lowest, I think one of the lowest spreads of NFL history. That's all we got to say about the Russ Cooking Carolina Bowl. I don't know, man. I give me Denver to beat a bad Carolina team, cover the 1 point. Is that it?
Yeah,
Is that really all it is?
Yeah.
Is that really? Give me Denver to cover the 1 point and give me the Sam Darnold's back. Give me the under. This is gonna be interesting. This
has scorigami potential written all over it. Low scoring scorigami potential. Yeah, I'm not going to waste too much time here. Denver's going to cover because Sam Darnold won't be able to do anything with that defense, and the under because Russell Wilson sucks.
Yeah, we nailed it, boys. Denver in the under. We got to get this tank. Too many teams have only 3 wins right now. We got to separate ourselves. This is separation week. There are a couple 3-win teams that I know are going to lose. So this no excuse loss game. Let's go.
Would you start a single player in fantasy in this football game? Would you take the over on a single prop bet that doesn't include interceptions?
I was the Denver defense, the Carolina defense. Those are primetime players.
Those are must starts.
If this game has more than 20 points, I would be shocked. This screams at best 7 to 10.
11-4. I'm calling it right now. 11-4.
Who went? Denver. All right, let's keep it moving. Let's go to New Jersey where the Jets are hosting the banged up fighting Justin Fields. The Jets are -6 over under 38.5.
The Jets are -6?
I was surprised at the line too.
All right, then easy. Give me Chicago to cover. Give me Chicago to win. I don't care how banged up Justin Fields is. This Mike White thing will be for a week, and then this is still Mike White. Do y'all even remember that Mike White had that crazy game and one offensive?
Yeah, he's a former Cowboys draft pick, so I ride with Mike White. I'm good. Me and Mike White are good.
Give me Chicago because the coin says so. Give me Chicago because the coin says so. Zach Wilson will be back next week. Hopefully the Jets can get back on a roll. And give me what's the over-under?
38.5.
Give me the over because Justin Fields and the Bears, even if they lose, they'll still put up some points.
I'm going to go on the other side here, even though I was surprised to see it at 6 for the Jets. I think the Jets defense just dominates either half of Justin Fields or Trevor Siemian, and they just found a way to win this game ugly, low scoring. I can see 17-6, something in that range. Chicago's offense has been hot, but I think the Jets defense is better. Quinnen Williams is going to throw around whoever exists on that Chicago front offensive line. And I think Mike White, Zach Wilson, Joe Flacco, there isn't much variation between those three. Jets are going to rely on – Bears defense is bad. Jets can rely on running the football. Just get the ball to your playmakers and let them make a couple of plays for you. I'll take the Jets to cover and the under 38.5.
I'm with Moody, Jets, and the under. I'm with Kevin White, though. I think Kevin White, he has proven he can win some games. So let's go.
You mean Mike White?
Mike White. You don't even know the man's
Whatever.
name.
All right, let's
Kevin White's the former Chicago Bears bust
Yeah.
receiver.
He's still in the
best
league.
wide receiver. But let's keep it moving. Cincinnati going to Nashville. Cincinnati is -2.5 over under 43.5.
This is game of the week. If you look at the matchups here, like playoff rematch, two teams above 500 AFC contenders, like they're in the hunt, but I don't think they're realistically Super Bowl champions.
Wait, the
Although,
one seed and the team that went to the Super Bowl last year? If they ain't
Yeah.
contenders, who is?
but Bengals, I would have said the Bengals won the Super Bowl last year, so this should be a really good football team against two teams, physical, big front sevens on defense. Cornerbacks are a little bit suspect, especially with the Cheeto injury for the Bengals.
He's out for the season.
He's out for the season. That's massive for them. But what's also massive for Cincinnati is the return of Jamar Chase, which we do expect to see on Sunday, especially against a weaker Tennessee secondary. That's going to be an interesting matchup. Joe Mixon is out with a concussion. He just got ruled out a couple hours ago, so that's another thing. But I don't think Joe Mixon is going to make a huge impact anyway because the Tennessee Titans have the best run defense in the NFL. I expect a little bit of revenge here from the loss last year. The only reason Tennessee lost to Cincinnati last year is because Ryan Tannehill started and ended the game with interceptions to hand Cincinnati points. As long as he avoids doing that this year, especially with a healthier Derrick Henry. Derrick Henry was coming off the broken foot last year. He couldn't get much going. I think this will be a different situation this year. Tennessee at home, underdogs. Give me Tennessee to cover and the under at 43.5.
Yeah, I agree with everything Moody says. Give me Tennessee to get the revenge for the loss last year. They'll be fired up. That was a terrible choke job they displayed last year in the playoffs. As long as they don't turn the ball over ridiculously, they'll be fine. Interesting to see how Treylon Burks backs up that game he had against Green Bay. He looked like their offense looked like they finally arrived. Also interesting to see how they handle the offensive coordinator situation because they had one good game on offense and all of a sudden their offensive coordinator went crazy and went and got himself a DUI before Thanksgiving even got here. So I'm sure he had a hard weekend.
We all know about bad luck on Thanksgiving.
But yeah, give me Tennessee to cover. What's the over under? 45?
43.
Yeah, give me the over. Give me the over. Cincinnati will score a little. Tennessee will score a little.
Moody, you took the under or the
I
over?
took the under, yes.
Okay. Cincinnati is my lock. The return of Jamar Chase. They about to blow smoke. Cincinnati lock with the over.
Confident. Said that very confidently.
Yeah. Tampa Bay heading to Cleveland. Tampa Bay -3.5 over under 42.
This would be my lock. Last game without Deshaun Watson. I think Cleveland's going to be mailing it in. They're going to be looking forward to seeing an actual starting NFL quarterback coming to their midst. Season's pretty much over at this point anyway. Tampa Bay is more desperate to win. They know they have to continue to stay ahead in their division. They seem to have found some answers in Germany last week.
2 weeks ago, they were on a bye.
2 weeks ago, they're coming off the bye. Tom Brady coming off the bye. That's going to be automatic for me. Cleveland has a bottom 5 defense in the NFL. Give me the Bucs to cover and the over.
Yeah, if you look at the history of the Tom Brady Buccaneers, this is around the time where they turn it on coming out of the bye after a little slow start. That's what they've done all 3 years. This is my lock of the week too. Do you see Tom Brady losing to his former understudy Jacoby Brissett? Hell no. Give me the Bucs to cover, which is it? Was it 5.5? What did you say?
3.5.
Oh yeah. Give me the Bucs to cover easily. Tease the lineup because I don't see it being close. Like Moody said, Cleveland's probably packed it up and they're ready to probably pack it up for next year. Luckily, Deshaun Watson coming back. They want to get some nice practice reps with him. But yeah, it's pretty over. Give me Tampa Bay to cover. Give me what's the over under?
42.
Give me the over because Cleveland struggles to stop the run. So I'm sure Tampa Bay will score at least 30 points.
Yeah, I'm in complete agreement with you guys. I'm pretty confident in this game too. Tampa and the over. All right, let's keep it moving. Let's go to our nation's capital where Atlanta is coming to town. The hot Commanders coming in 4-point favorites over under 40.5.
Yeah, this is tough. As we talked about last game, we had Jamar Chase returning. This is going to be the Chase Young, a different Chase, the Chase Young return bowl. Unfortunately, my head says pick the Commanders. My heart will be behind Atlanta so badly to keep the Commanders slowed down behind that pace, but it brings Atlanta into the race for the wild card as well. Who's home?
And their division.
They're in Washington.
They're in Washington. If you've looked, Taylor Heineke, while my guy from ODU has represented well, he's actually slowed down since that big game he had a few weeks ago. So I think Atlanta's coming off the big win with the Cordell Patterson kick return. I think last year Washington won in Atlanta. So give me the reverse fixture this time. Give me Atlanta to cover/win. Give me the over and expect this to be one of the most exciting games. Two of the better head coaches playing in a chess match that should be interesting. Defensive coach versus offensive coach. Lots of running the football to be included. Give me the under. Give me the under, actually.
This is an interesting matchup. Atlanta has one of the most dynamic and diverse run schemes in the NFL, and Washington's defensive line has been shutting down run games for a couple months now. They've been really beating up on bad offensive lines, getting after it. Atlanta's offensive line has slightly overperformed. Obviously, the Kyle Pitts injury, which probably makes a little difference to the actual outcome of the game because Kyle Pitts wasn't good for but 3 for 19 anyway. I like Washington here at home. They're hot. They're playing with a lot of confidence. I think their front seven will be able to shut down the Marcus Mariota running game. And outside of that, I don't think Atlanta has a counterpunch. And I think Washington, with that game plan they had against Philly, well, they'll be able to just 3 yards in the cloud of dust, move the chains, get first downs. Atlanta can't stop anything in the Washington secondary, in the Washington receiving room anyway. So I expect Dotson and McLaurin and Samuel to be making lots of plays. I think Washington covers the 4 at home and give me the over.
I had the exact same thought process as you, Moody, with the run defense of Washington being able to calm and simmer the Atlanta run, which is really what their offense needs to be able to stay ahead of the chains and keep clicking throughout the game. So I'm going to take Washington, but I'm going to take the under. All right, guys, let's move on. Baltimore heading to Jacksonville. Baltimore only 3.5 points. 43.5 is the total.
Lamar Jackson going back to his home state. As simple as that. He's always played good in those games, with the exception of that one mishap he had in Miami tonight. They blitzed the shit out of him. Jacksonville is a team that's been really good. I like the way they match up with Baltimore. So, well, how much are they? 3.5 favorites?
Yeah.
Lamar was on the injury report, but I just seen the message that he's not on it. So give me Baltimore to cover it. They're a hungrier dog. They got to run a little bit faster. Cincinnati's braiding down their tail. I like their coach and their culture better than Jacksonville's right now. So I'll take Baltimore hesitantly to cover, and I'll take the under because it might be hot down there, hot and humid in Florida. We know how that could get.
Yeah, I'm with you. I think Baltimore's just simply the better football team. Defensively, they've been playing really well. They're getting guys back. I think they'll be able to heat up Trevor Lawrence with some pressure. Peters and what's the other guy? Humphrey. They've been playing really, really good out there at corner. I don't think the mediocre receivers that Jacksonville's playing with will be able to create much separation. Don't think they'll be able to run the ball effectively with Travis Etienne. But on the other side, I do think Jacksonville's defense has kind of speed and athleticism to give Lamar problems in the run game. Josh Allen and Foye Sedalukun and those guys on the defensive side, they can run with him and maybe compete with him in open space. So I think this will be a lower scoring game, but Baltimore, as the more, I guess, mature, grown-up football team, I expect them to take care of business in what should be a good football game. I'll take Baltimore to cover and the under.
I'm with you guys on the side, but not on the total. I think Jacksonville will be able to put up enough points to hit this 43.5. So I will take Baltimore and the over. All right, guys, let's keep it moving along. Houston going to Miami. Miami Giant favorites, 14 points, over under 47.
Yeah, there's
nothing
else.
Playing?
It's Kyle Allen. Yeah, there's nothing else to be said here. That soft cover 2 defense that Lovie Smith's playing is the perfect scheme for Tua Tagovailoa to pick apart Tyreek Hill and Jalen Waddle will be running open in the middle of the field all day. This is going to be smoke in the highest order. Give me Miami to cover and the over. Miami might cover the spread by themselves. Cover the over-under by themselves.
Yeah, their linebacker they've got, Mr. Petrie, has been really disappointing since that Giants game, and even before. I think they played the Eagles the week before. He's been really disappointing in that covering that middle of the field for the Texans in that cover 2 scheme. So yeah, like Moody said, yeah, Miami will cover. They'll do
Stingley's out too.
Stingley's out. Yeah, give me Miami to cover easily. The Texans are on a tank like no other. They got to redeem themselves for all those picks they lost for the Tunsil trade.
Yeah, I'm going Miami and the over as well. What was I about to say? Yeah, parlay, Tyreek Hill, Waddle, everyone on the offense for Miami to score. This is going to be an ass beating. All right, let's keep it moving. The Chargers going to Arizona. The Chargers are 3-point favorites over under 48.
I think it's another easy one. I don't like where the Cardinals are going, even though their defense has been good for the Cardinals. Kyler Murray might be back, but we already know what second half Kyler Murray entails. And the Chargers are actually getting healthier. They've got their receivers back. Mike Williams looks like he's gonna have to suffer. He's gonna have to fight through that ankle injury all season for the rest of the season. So he might not be dominant, but he'll be in the lineup in and out. But Keenan Allen is back, and that was the go-to guy. Even though I didn't count Keenan Allen as one of the more overrated receivers, he's a go-to chain mover for Justin Herbert, and he's one of the best things. There's no surprise that as soon as he comes back, Justin Herbert's got a little bit more healthier, that their offense has opened up a little bit more. So give me the Chargers, a better team to dominate. I think Khalil Mack does the job on defense. Justin Herbert and Keenan Allen with Austin Eckler does the job on offense. Easy cover, and give me the under, because the Cardinals actually have a surprisingly good defense.
If the Chargers are serious about being a playoff team and if Brandon Staley's serious about keeping his job, this is a game that just have to get done. This is a victory that they have to have. They're as healthy as they're going to be, probably. Despite what Isaiah says, Arizona's defense has not actually been that's not a good defense over there. They have a bunch of guys who you think can match up, but most of the time they just don't end up matching up as well as you would like them to. They rely heavily on the blitz. I think that's something Justin Herbert should be able to pick apart. He's been really good at that. Yeah, you just have to go out there and handle business. If Kyler Murray's out there on a bad hamstring, then Khalil Mack should be out there heating him up. And if it's Colt McCoy, or even worse, because McCoy's hurt too, then yeah, there's no business for Arizona to go out here and win the football game. Give me the Chargers to win, to cover, and the over.
Yeah, I'll take the Chargers because I just think, hey, Warzone 2 just drops. What are we doing here, boys?
This one is Call of Duty dropped 3 times and like 4 times in one season.
No, it's the Battle Royale to the new.
Yeah.
You know, everything's about downloadable content now. That's not how it was when we were growing up. But now you could drop things 5-6 times a year. Only sports games feel like they got to do things once a year now.
Yeah, so I will take the Chargers. I'll take the over because I think 48's a little bit low. I don't think Mike Williams is going to play this game, but I think 48's just a hair low. Let's keep it moving. Las Vegas heading to the 12th man in Seattle. Seattle minus 3.5, over under 47.5. I'll take Seattle. I think this is one of the easier games. Give me the over as well.
Yeah.
Welcome back, Kenneth Walker, back to my fantasy lineup. I missed you even though it was only 1 week.
Good football team versus bad football team. And the good football team's at home. I think pretty simple. Sew it up, lock it in. Seattle should take care of business. That Vegas Raiders defense is awful. Geno Smith should be able to pick them apart, and they'll be able to get after in the run game as well. Maybe the Raiders are able to put up some points because I don't entirely trust Seattle's defense from the way they've been playing the last couple of weeks. So maybe Devontae Adams can get off for some explosive plays. Maybe Josh Jacobs can make some explosive plays and get the scoring up, which is why I'll take the over. But Seattle's the better football team. I expect them to take care of business. 12th man, home crowd, all that. Good team versus bad team. Seattle and the over.
I'm going to ride with Vegas. Because
we all have to ride with our cold takes. Eric rides with the Colts. I ride with the Broncos. You ride with the Raiders.
I think I liked what I saw from them against Denver. They were the best team versus that Denver defense all year long. Now they were the one of the fewer ones to playing without Chubb for the first time because he's only been gone for 2 weeks, so they might not be as dominant as they were to start the season. But I think they could cover 3.5 by losing a heartbreaker to 3 at worst. I think that's the worst case scenario for them. They lose a heartbreaker, but they cover the 3.5. And give me the over because this gonna be nice. This is gonna be good. This is gonna be shocking, good offense. There's lots of some of the best receiver play you'll see this week. Not some of the best quarterback play, but some of the best receiver play for sure.
All right, boys, let's keep it moving. Let's go to probably the biggest spread I've probably ever seen in an NFL game. Rams heading to Kansas City. The Chiefs are 15.5-point favorite, over under 41.
Yeah.
You must not remember the days of bad Jacksonville. They used to have like negative 21 point spreads. Like there were times people thought that
Houston, Detroit last year had some 3 possession spreads.
But it's very rare when a Super Bowl the reigning Super Bowl champion is a 16-point dog. Now I will say, Eric, I ain't never seen nothing like that. I can agree with that for sure. And who wants to take a swing here? It's not really.
I'll go ahead. As we know, Bryce Perkins is going to be starting for the Rams this week. Stafford probably isn't coming back ever. He may have played his last football game ever. I wouldn't be surprised.
Where's he going?
Two concussions in a couple weeks. You won the Super Bowl. You're 35. That offensive line is probably a couple years away from being rebuilt because they don't have any money or draft picks. I don't see the reason to come back. You've done what you need to do, in my opinion.
That, he's about that bag. He just got the new bag. You just re-up for that. He'll come back for the bag. If he's coming back for anything, it's to play at least what he did in Detroit. Played 6 to 10 games a year. And
he'll still get some of that money if he retires. So just not all of it. Do you want to take your body through another year of abuse just for a few extra million?
So they're gonna be without Stafford, McVay, and Aaron Donald?
Yeah, it's over. They got the Super Bowl. They were all in. But as for the matchup on Sunday, this is as shitty as it could possibly be. Kansas City is playing like with their hair on fire. Patrick Mahomes looks like the best player on planet Earth, and not even a close second with the way he's been able to perform in these recent weeks. The Rams look beaten. They look worn down. They're misused. I still think they're misusing their defensive talent in a lot of ways. It's just been a very, very ugly setting. There's no reason for Kansas City to do anything but cover here. But I believe that the Hall of Famers on the defensive side of the football for the Rams will show some pride. I think we'll get big gains from Aaron Donald. I think we'll get big gains from Jalen Ramsey, and they will keep the scoring down enough for the LA Rams to find a way to cover this one with some ball control offense. Kansas City's still going to win comfortably, but I'll take the Rams to cover and the under.
You just want to be a nice person. Kansas City to cover easily because it doesn't matter how much points that Jalen Ramsey, who's been poor this year, and Aaron Donald, who's had his worst season of his career, no matter how high they rise to the occasion, whoever they got, Perkins playing quarterback with that offensive line, with that run game.
No Cooper Kupp.
The Rams could easily lose 21-0, and that still means they got covered. So, yeah, I'd be interested to see how the Rams score in this football game. That's all I got to say about that. Rams to cover. Give me, 42.5. Will the Rams scored more than 10 points to make, even if Kansas City took it easy on them 31 good enough? I guess I got to take the under. Because I don't – this Kansas City defense is going to feast. I'm starting them in a couple fantasy leagues. I expect them to feast and not give up many points.
Yeah, I'm with Isaiah. Kansas City and the under. Good deed of the day, Moody, picking the Rams, but
he's a nice guy.
All right, let's keep it moving. New Orleans heading to San Francisco. San Francisco -9, over under 43.5.
Yeah, I think this one's unfortunately just as easy. New Orleans is a good headache, and that's about it. They'll beat teams that they can beat when they're not firing on all cylinders. But as we see, San Francisco is probably the second hottest team behind Kansas City in the NFL right now. With all that weaponry and all that coaching clicking, the defensive line for the Saints would have to, like Moody said about the Rams guys, they would have to all have vintage top-notch performances to slow down the offense a little to keep them under 30 points. But I think the 49ers put up 28 points easily on most teams, and I don't see Andy Dalton being that 49ers defense. So give me the Niners to cover, keep it rolling. We're looking at 43. I do believe the Saints offense is good enough to score a couple points, unlike the Rams offense. So I'll go with the over for this one. Basically all the same talking points. Good team beats bad team.
Yeah, I think the bigger worry is what New Orleans is going to do against that San Francisco defensive line. Nick Bosa is going to get to find the scrub and kick his ass for 60 minutes. I don't see how Andy Dalton does anything but turn the ball over excessively. I think the performance might be so ugly we might see some Jameis Winston, honestly. San Francisco to cover in dominant fashion, and I'll take the under. I think their defense outplays the offense, honestly. I don't think Andy Dalton has a great shot at doing much of anything. And Christian McCaffrey, all the tools and toys will get to have their fun.
Yeah, San Francisco in the under. I think New Orleans is going to struggle to score, and San Francisco will literally get to pick how they want to score and what position wants to throw for what touchdown. So I will take San Francisco and the under. All right, Sunday Night Football, Green Bay at Philly. Philly minus 6.5, over under 46.
Somehow I didn't get this game down in my pregame sheet, amazingly. But yeah, Green Bay. Aaron Rodgers isn't playing the Dallas Cowboys, so I don't expect him to play well. And that's basically the entire context of the Green Bay Packers. It's not a good football team unless they're playing the Dallas Cowboys. There's no Dallas Cowboys qualifier here. Give me Philly to cover and the over.
I've liked what I've seen from Green Bay the last few weeks since that abysmal performance in London. They've actually been better at running the ball. They've got Christian Watson involved. But now that their season's over, I don't believe we're going to see any type of a trying hard from Aaron Rodgers for the rest of the year. We might see some Jordan Love in this game, as Moody was talking about. We might see Jameis Winston in the previous game. We might see some Jordan Love soon for Green Bay, hopefully. So give me the Eagles to cover 46.5. Give me the over because we know Aaron Rodgers knows he knows by his stats. He knows he's gonna have to at least put up a couple touchdowns and at least 65% passing to keep his overall career numbers at a certain par. So he'll do just enough to get to the over.
Yeah, I'll take Philly. It's just inside 7, so I'll take Philly. And I'll take the over. Hopefully we get another Watson game. That would be great. He has been booming the past couple of weeks.
I know I haven't played him at all, but I'd love to keep this up for the playoffs. Hopefully get Jordan Love in there so it'll matter a little more. With Aaron Rodgers, he might not care as much all the time.
All right, boys, let's go to Monday Night Football, where my cold take will be on primetime television. The Pittsburgh Steelers heading to Indianapolis. Indianapolis is somehow a favorite in a game, minus 2.5, over under 39.
I mean, this is a classic AFC rivalry. Back just 10 to 15 years ago, this was a playoff matchup that we got in the regular season and in the playoffs very often. But yeah, it's how the mighty have fallen. These might be definitely two of the bottom 10 teams in the league, unless Indianapolis falls into schedule luck. Man, Kenny Pickett actually played his best games last week, but I'm gonna keep riding with the Jeff Saturday train to get the Colts back to 500. Will they get back to 500? Are they 4-5-1? Are they 4-5-1? Getting back to 5-5-1?
4-6-1.
4-6-1. So they're one game below 500, but close enough. Let them keep Jeff Saturday get a winning record again on his coaching resume, because I just don't believe in what. TJ Watt is back, but I think the Colts defense is better. They'll be the best unit of the 4 units on the field, 6 units on the field, and that's what I'll ride with. So give me the Colts to cover. Give me the under because, this is going to be bad games. These are going to be too bad. Y'all going to get some good rest coming off this Thanksgiving break because ain't going to be no reason to stay up to watch these games.
I fear this is going to be like Colts Denver Broncos on Thursday Night Football. This could be in competition for worst game we've ever seen ever. I can't believe in either of these sides, but Pittsburgh being underdog. I think Pittsburgh's playing better football recently, even though the Colts got that big win over the Raiders. Colts defense is pretty good, but I don't think that they can contain all three Pittsburgh receivers. One of those guys will be able to find a way to make a big play. And I think TJ Watt against that offensive line is going to completely raise hell on Matt Ryan, force him into a couple turnovers. And I just can't pick Jeff Saturday over Mike Tomlin. I can't do it. And I don't think Pittsburgh's going to have any problems walking into Indianapolis and winning a football game. Give me Pittsburgh to cover and the under. I don't care if the under was at 17. I'd take the under.
I'm just going to take Indianapolis because I have to die on that sword. I'll take the under as well.
All right. Bold predictions for this week coming out. We're entering that final stretch. We got some decent games. Let me look at some of these big games. Let me look at some of these games.
I already got mine. Denver and Carolina have a scoregami.
I think. Go ahead.
Yeah, you get to go. I'm still debating.
Yeah, the Dolphins are going to score the most points that any NFL team has scored this season on Sunday.
Do we know what number that would be?
It's at least.
It's going to be
the Cowboys scored 49. I don't know if anybody else has hit 50. Anybody's hit 50, but I know it's at least 49.
I'll go with a duel. Pair minds. Justin Herbert and Lamar Jackson finally recovered, looking like fully recovered from injuries, returned to some MVP form, both combined for 8 total touchdowns and 800 total yards from the two of those guys between Herbert and Lamar, and get their teams back into playoff contention, or in Lamar's case, battling for the 1 seed contention.
Right. I can't believe how boring this soccer game was.
Hey, this was actually the best case for the USA. Just fight.
Keep it close and ugly. Keep it close and ugly. Absolutely.
Oh,
especially now that Iran beat Wales this morning. So now they're gonna have to beat somebody, but it was gonna be harder to beat this team. They're gonna have to beat Iran. Isn't that pretty comical? That's the irony of the United States needed to beat down on Iran to get to where they need to get. They've never done that before. But remember to like, comment, subscribe, share, interact. Enjoy the football week. Hope everybody stays safe during the holiday season.
Happy Thanksgiving.